Right then, as part of the revised Mickleover Meets interview series, we did a few during lockdown 1 last year, now in lockdown 3. Today I have the pleasure in introducing Richard Wheeldon, obviously from Mickleover Golf Club. Good morning, Rich.
Good morning, Timothy.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, despite lockdown.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you're getting through. That's a lovely picture in the background you've got there.
Hey, there you go.
Just tell me what it is.
Hey.
It's
an olive-breasted sunbird from Borneo.
Wow, and that you took that yourself, I understand.
I did that just before lockdown.
Wow, what a keen photographer. I've seen a few of the ones you've done before. Very impressive. And of course, behind me, I've not got an olive-breasted sunbird.
No, you've got
I've got one of your best.
Red-breasted sunbird.
I've got one of your best pictures ever from when we went to Augusta with the rain delay on a disabled chariot. I think it was. I think it was Rogers actually, wasn't it?
It was Rogers. It was Rogers' chair.
Rogers' chair going around. Yeah, fantastic. So thanks for agreeing to just kind of find out a little bit more about you and your golf and stuff like that. People have found these very interesting, which is about the 6th one I think we've done. So really, first of all, again, just a bit more of an, I'll give a bit more of an introduction. So Richard, he'll tell us how long he's been a member at Mickleover, but Richard's a past captain, works hard on the match and handicap committee with different roles over the years. He's the current secretary of Derbyshire Golf, so the county that presides over all of the golf clubs in Derbyshire. Richard is the secretary of that, so does a lot of the, the work, the admin work and organising the tournaments at a county level. So for those that play in those, we'll see him knocking about, not so much in 2020, understandably, but hopefully 2021 is better. So let's just go back then, Rich. So golf, as far, how and when did you start playing golf?
I didn't pick a club up until I was 16.
Did you not?
No, that's why I'm absolutely rubbish.
Okay.
I worked when I was still at school in the 6th form. I worked at Belper Sports Centre, doing sports hall attendant and that type of work occasionally. And in one of the cupboards there was a host of golf clubs that they used for indoor nets up there. And me and a friend, we asked the bosses if we could borrow a few, and he was a keen fisherman, a bit like Mr. Hanks, and we taped up a couple of fishing bags halfway up so we could stick the clubs in.
Yeah.
Jumped on the bus and went to Allestree.
You went to Allestree? Wow, that's iconic and ironic to a degree, as it's just closed down. My
first real openings into golf were at Allestree for quite a few years.
Wow.
Even at school, even when I even got a bag, I used to jump on the bus and get a return ticket to Allestree from Belper and go and play 24 or however many holes they'd let me play. Yeah. 18, 36.
And did golf substitute another sport, or did you do it alongside something else?
No, I played a lot of football, a lot of cricket, and I didn't take golf up seriously until I was 30 odd.
Right, okay. So you're from Belper, are you?
I am, yes, Belper lad.
Okay, so Belper, just going on to football then, are Belper torn between Derby and Forest, or is it mainly Derby?
Well, as a child, I went 1 week to Derby and 1 week to Nottingham Forest.
Did you? You were one of them, were you?
My granddad and my father took me. Derby were at home 1 week, and I used to go to the baseball ground, and then the following week we used to go and watch Forest at the City Ground.
There's so many do that, or around Ilkeston, Ripley, Belper, or he.
Yeah, I can't. I don't see myself personally. I don't see the hatred between Derby and Forest at all. For me, I don't overly follow Forest, and I wouldn't want them to do better than Derby. But I like football and sport, and I don't wish ill on Forest at all.
No. Okay. Well, that's good. So that's good to know. I know your Tom has a different view of that.
It's only through him disappearing back from Derby. He won't like me saying it, but his first few games were at the baseball ground.
Oh, were they?
To watch the reserves, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Well done, Tom.
Before he went back to Nottingham.
Yeah, love it. So you started knocking the ball about at Allestree with a few borough clubs and things. So at what point then did you think, right, I need to get a set of clubs of my own? Did you go, when did you get some hand-me-downs, or did you go and buy something, or what?
My old man got me a set from a guy at work, I think.
Yeah.
You know, a guy he was playing with. He got me a swim. We shared him. My dad played a little bit in at Alistry as well, or Simfin.
Okay.
With his mates at work, and I used to just borrow them.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So you started playing more serious in your 30s. At this point, you'd obviously be working. So
Yeah,
where were you?
I joined the Rolls Royce Golf Society.
I was going to say, yeah. You so you worked at Rolls Royce, obviously.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
18. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's from 18, and then you joined the Rolls Royce Golf Society, and is that the Rolls Royce Golf Society as we know it? Because I know there's a number of Rolls Royce Golf Societies.
It's still the original Golf Society that was formed in 1948, I think.
Right. Okay. Which you've been a captain of.
I have, yes, 2005.
Okay.
So they're still going reasonably strong.
Yeah.
We've lost a lot of members, and there's not many people coming in due to staffing, levels. I'm guessing, there's not much new blood anymore.
Right. Okay.
Don't attract many new players.
And without going on to what since you've left Royce's and done something else, without the fact that you were previously an employer there, you can actually still be a member of the Rolls Royce Golf Society. Is this Rolls Royce Golf Society Derby, as it's called? Right. Okay. Okay.
As long as you're a member of the welfare, and I've stayed in, everybody stays in the welfare because you get reasonable rates.
Right.
Then you can be a member of the Golf Society.
And again, my take on Rolls Royce Golf Society, because we've got quite a close connection with a lot of people working at Mickleover and being within that society and being captains, Derek Brooks, Chris Kell, all over the years, Paul Jones, John Freeborough, I could keep throwing them in there. There's been loads over my tenure. What I see from that is it's almost like a little golf club that runs on its own, because it has a really good series of competitions through the year. So is that where it started to introduce you to competition golf?
Yes, mainly, yeah.
Right.
I played all, in the probably 1989, 1990, that type of level.
Right.
Started playing, golf in the Rolls Royce competitions, and then the trip started there in the 96, 97, these 2 and 3 days away.
Yeah.
That really started to increase my interest in physically playing. I've always been interested in golf, following the Masters, Faldo's, and before watching the Masters late at night.
Yeah.
Tom was born the day Faldo won the Masters in 1990.
Of course, maybe
I was in the maternity unit at Derby City when Tom was born. I woke up and Faldo was the champion again.
Wow, fantastic. Good memory.
So I've always loved watching it on TV. Peter Alice, what a star he was.
Yeah. Yeah. So these Rolls Royce comps then, and the fact that you were playing them, you got a handicap.
Yes.
Through Rolls Royce.
Yes. Which
enables you to play in their competitions. So you kind of experienced a little bit of what we all call club life at almost work level.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. For a few years, and that was led me on to join Mickleover in '99.
So just before that, did you join any other golf clubs before Mickleover?
Well, I was a member at Ashbourne actually in the late '80s, just for a couple of years.
Right.
Me and a couple of friends joined just to see what it was like. We couldn't get in anywhere else. Everywhere else had waiting lists.
Yeah.
And we were straight in at Ashbourne.
Yeah.
The 50 quid.
50 was it?
Yeah, 50 quid.
Was that the 9-holer then?
It was when it was the 9-holer. It was a lovely little course when it was a 9. It still is okay, but I much preferred it as the 9-hole course. It was a nice little quirky course.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I agree.
I was only there for a couple of years. The bloke I joined with, he didn't take to it and whatever, and I never really got into it. To be fair, there was nobody else there, and so I sort of just never rejoined after a couple of years.
Okay.
Preferred to do all the golfing with Royce's. It was easier.
Yeah. Yeah, better organised, arguably. As well.
More organised, from my point of view, anyway.
Yeah. So you joined Mickleover in 1999. I think I do remember you coming in. Was that because you had a connection of friends through Rolls Royce Golf Society at Mickleover, and that kind of was a natural progression? It
was all to do with that. There was two things. One was my divorce.
Okay. Don't go there.
No, it was just I used some of my divorce money to not divorce settlement to pay for a membership at Mickleover.
Right.
And that kick-started that. But the reason I joined Mickleover and nowhere near where I live in Belper and Kilburn was mainly due to Mr. Fleetwood and Mr. Walton.
Right.
They were Mr. John Walton was my proposer.
Right. Okay.
And that type of thing. Of course, it was Kelky and other people.
Yeah, Ron Fleetwood, Chris Kelk, John Walton, Derek Brooks.
It was all to do with friendships and the fact that we'd played Mickleover in Royce's competitions and all things like that.
Right. Okay.
That's what got me to come to Mickleover.
Yeah. Yeah. And you obviously settled in quite quickly and obviously enjoyed being there. I mean, this is your 22nd, potentially 23rd year, depending obviously when you joined in 99. So you've been...
I joined right at the beginning. Well, I joined late 98, beginning of 99.
You obviously remember me as a bit of a young...
I was, you had some hair and so did I a bit. Not much more, but I did.
Yeah, brilliant. And of course, Tom joined you then as a junior, didn't he?
He joined a few years later. I was taking him to Morley Hayes every weekend as well,
right.
as well as playing at Mickleover. I was going up every Sunday to Morley Hayes, going around the tower course for a while. And
wow.
Then we decided to try and
make it a bit more
to be a junior.
Yeah. So again, highlights of Mickleover. So again, I think I've got that. You've obviously been captain in 2012. So you followed Graham Finney?
I did, yes.
And you were before
that Mr. Wright.
Before John Wright. Oh wow. What a rose. And you've been match and handicap secretary in its own right, which is what Tony Davis does now. I know you're the assistant secretary at the moment, but you have been, haven't you?
I do, yeah. I started that in 06, I think, with 05, 06 with 06.
Okay.
With Neil Ibbotson was the secretary then.
Yes, of course.
I started being an assistant, and he didn't last too long doing that.
No. Okay.
And I took that on with one or two others.
And you obviously enjoy your golf at Mickleover and the friendships that you've got there. And I know you do a lot of the things like the quizzes, and you're big into that. You enjoy participating in those things, don't you? So
plenty of activities at Mickleover. I say sometimes I wish I lived a bit closer.
Yeah.
But then again, living far, further away sometimes has its advantages.
So, what was your highlight of your captain's year besides obviously playing club matches?
Apart from your duck hook on the tee at Chevin on the first.
That's the only one, wasn't
it? Probably, yeah. Followed by loads of shanks.
No, listen, what are you drinking there? That's definitely, I must have got you out of every... I've never not saved one of my captains. I mean, obviously I saved Roger a lot more and Ted than I probably did you.
No, it was the first match at Chevin. It wasn't to highlight per se, but I couldn't actually believe it. I was shaking like a leaf on the first match, first tee at Chevin. And I said to you, you better go first, Tim.
I can't remember it. Where did it go? In the gardens?
You duck up to one into the middle or far side of the 18th fairway. I thought, oh my goodness.
I bet I won the hole.
Follow that. Well, actually, I parred the first hole to win it. And yeah.
Brilliant.
We won the first hole and you were like a woodpecker. And I couldn't believe. I thought, I'm playing with a professional here.
You're doing my status. No good whatsoever. We did all right though, didn't we?
We did in the match. We won about 4 and 3, I think. We were the only winners, I think.
Yeah, always win at Chevin. Always used to beat Willie. Even when John Sherwood going on to club matches was much more nervous than you were. I've never known anybody that nervous.
No, it was just the first one. Our first club match. We played matches before and all stuff like that, but there was quite a few people watching as well at Chevin. Everybody's sitting there watching.
Brilliant. They were good fun, those matches, weren't they? So what was your captain's highlight? Obviously, is really just talk to me a bit about being a captain at a golf club, Mickleover or wherever. I mean, you build up to the big thing, which is your captain's day in July or August or whenever that is these days. And obviously that's you've got to really, we know what I remember going to do the pin positions with you on that day, but so what's the big highlight of the year and what's your fondest memory?
I've got loads of memories really. There's not just one. It goes on for a long while. In some ways it goes on for a long while, in other ways it's all over in a heartbeat, in a flash. But I think the highlight of my year was the past captain's dinner.
Oh yes.
with all the masks that I got for everybody and all
So
the
just to interrupt you then, so basically every year, just so that people know, in February time, there's a past captain's dinner, and the current captain, which for example would now be Bob Harwood, would be the guest of honour.
Correct.
And as the guest of honour, you come in last and you stand up and you have to do a bit of it's almost like an initiation, a little bit of a talk stroke speech, don't you? Yeah, I'm just setting the scene.
Like so rolling your trouser leg up and being
right. So you came in, and as I understand it, you gave all these past captains, which go going back a few years, with some that aren't with us anymore, masks, which represented what you felt
was their character and stuff.
Give me a couple of examples.
You know, I can't off the top of my head. There was Del Boy, and
who was that? Graham.
Honestly can't remember who I gave to who. If you'd have asked this question, if I'd have been a bit more prepared for it, I could have.
I know you gave Simon Cowell to.
I've got, but there was various different. Wayne Rooney, I think, was one, and all different, different people.
And you made them wear him while you were doing your speech, did you?
I put them on, and we all had a picture as well. We all had a picture, a bit like the past captain's picture for the year. We all had pictures.
Fabulous. Hopefully that's in the archives.
Terry Delahaye was there with all drink down him where he'd spilt a big.
We've got to be careful here. We don't want to kind of kill anybody on camera as far as their reputation's concerned. No. Okay, so that's good. So we know what you like about Mickleover. You enjoy the friendliness and things like that. So from a work perspective, obviously you're still at this point quite active at Rolls-Royce with the society, being captain of society in the mid 2000s, and you was obviously active with a lot of the competitions and the trips that they do. So more recently, from a work perspective, I understand that you left Rolls-Royce as was, and took up the role because the vacancy became available with Derbyshire Golf, as it is now. Some of the traditionalists will know it as the Derbyshire Union of Golf Clubs, and there was all the separate ones, but now the golf in each county, again, correct me if I'm wrong in a minute, has amalgamated, so all the amateur unions have come together and is represented by both sexes and on a board, and you kind of are the secretary for that. Is that right?
Yes, predominantly. I did. Going back to history, I did 36 years at Royce's and then EDS, and then Hewlett Packard, working for all these people in the same, doing the same job in different companies, same seat. And then I'd really had enough. It was not the job I'd signed up to do originally. It wasn't programming anymore and problem solving. It was just a case of paper pushing and doing. And
okay,
I'd quite for a number of years after being on boards and committees and things, I really fancied a job in golf, to be brutally honest. Doing something that I do enjoy more at the time. And,
well, to be fair, you hit it straight off the first at Chevin than I did.
so I jumped ship at Royce's, and then 6 months later, Mitch Hanley sent me a note saying, this job's come back into, up for grabs. Are you interested? And I applied, and fortunately, I got the position. Now, Derbyshire are, a unified county now. There's not many gone down that route from England Golf. There's still a lot of unions and county ladies, two separate entities.
Yeah.
But Derbyshire, along with probably about another 7 or 8 counties, have merged into so it's men, ladies, and juniors.
Right.
And I oversee, from a secretarial viewpoint, all of that sort of golf, report into the board. And
you administer the competitions like the Amateur Championship, the Henriques and all that.
I sort all the fixtures out, contact all the clubs, try and get Mr. Finney on board. It's a bit of a hard work, but we get there in the end.
Yeah.
Contact all the secretaries to get all the the fixtures for the following year. There's meetings to attend, player development meetings, coaching meetings, competitions meetings, England golf meetings.
Which a lot of that's now virtual, like a bit like what we're doing, I assume.
It has been for, we didn't do much at all last year. I was furloughed for I'm still furloughed in, part-time.
Yeah.
Because of the situation.
Yeah.
But all the meetings up to press over the last 8 months have been sorted out by Zoom.
Right.
I've got an England golf Zoom meeting this afternoon.
It won't be as much fun as this one, trust me.
Well, it certainly won't be. I certainly won't be saying as much as I'm saying now.
You won't have that bird in the background and be introducing it.
No.
So, so from a county perspective, then obviously running all these competitions. I mean, you know, there's a little bit of a there's some unsociable hours because sometimes you're there till late on a Sunday evening, things like that. So it's a bit part time. It's part time, is it?
No, it's full time.
It's full time. But you do a lot more in the summer than you do in the winter,
yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, you're racking up quite a few hours in the summer. You can be doing 12-hour days.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Welcome to my world.
Well, yeah, that's how it is, and it's all flexi time and.
Yeah, I don't do any of that.
It's quite a few. There's quite a few perks playing the odd round of golf with different people, playing with England Golf at Woodall Spa.
Fantastic. Yeah, and quite right. Listen, that's your job. Your job is to go out there. Yeah, that's what you get. People, kind of misunderstand that. You're in the industry. Of course, you're going to play golf at some nice places. Which takes me on to probably the final thing, really. So I know you're a traveller, and let's just talk travel briefly. Just throw a few countries that you've travelled to.
Only briefly, I could talk for hours.
I know you love it. Yeah. So where have you travelled to?
I've been to quite a few countries.
Okay.
Going on for 50, I think.
50 countries. Okay, and that's all through not through work. That's through pleasure.
Not just golf, through pleasure and wanting to travel. I've got the same mentality with visiting places as I have with visiting golf courses. Really, there's always another one.
And of course,
some people like to go on holiday, and for example, I've got a place in, not me personally, but somebody might have a place at Skegness, and they go and play Seacroft every year because they like to do it. But for me, it's a case of where next? Where can we go next that I haven't been?
Yeah. So obviously your finest golf trip would have been to the Masters in 2019 with yours truly, where we shared a chalet. That's all we shared.
It was well, Trace was lovely, of course.
So from a golf perspective, then give me your two favourite golf courses that you've played in the world, and will we've heard of them.
That you've heard of them?
Well, we don't have to have heard of them, but will we've heard of them.
I struggle with this, to be fair. Tom's always going on about where he likes and whatever, and his favourites, and I really struggle to pick favourites, to be fair.
Okay.
My two favourite holidays have both been with Tom.
Yeah.
South Africa. Tony Davis is going there all the time now, and I loved it when I went out there. We combined 7 courses with a little safari and wine tour and Nelson Mandela and all that sort of thing. Tom was 21. We went to Stellenbosch. We had his 21st meal in Ernie Elsa's restaurant in Stellenbosch. Fantastic tour. And I say, when you're doing it with your son, it's really special.
And your most memorable course on that South African trip was what?
Probably Simola at over near Neisner.
Okay.
We started in Cape Town and Stellenbosch, and then across the Garden Route and finished up sort of Port Elizabeth way. And
fantastic.
There's a place called Neisner, and there's 2 or 3 lovely courses there. And Simola is there, and it was tough as old boots, but lovely. They really know how to look after you.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. And give me another course.
Then the other holiday that I could pick out was when myself and Tom went to Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam. Yeah. We did a similar thing. We touring as holiday people. We're doing sites. We went down the Coo Chi tunnels in Vietnam. We went on the Mekong Delta. We went to Siem Reap, which is a place I've always wanted. Angkor Wat and Siem Reap is a place I've always wanted to visit from a tourist point of view.
Yeah,
we did that, and we played golf as well. There's not many people I wouldn't think around who played golf in Cambodia. For example.
No, absolutely no. I mean,
so that's what I like to try and do. I like to play golf everywhere. Yeah. Even when I went to Australia on my own, I arranged to play, and I had 1 round of golf in Mosman up near Cairns.
I remember. Yeah.
And played golf up there. Just to say that I've played golf in Australia.
Yeah. And of course, we went over to the States and did those Kiowa courses. We
won the States, and
You came to Turkey last year or 2 years, 18 months ago.
You know, the Masters for me was really, really good to visit somewhere I've always wanted to go.
Yeah.
But my favourite part of that holiday was the golf at Kiwa Island.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed going to the Masters, and I can say that I've walked around and I've seen things, and you can describe things to people. You know, the slope on the 10th, and you know, the places where Bubba, you know, you don't realise how steep it is. You know, everybody laughs at Rushcliffe going up the 18th.
Jesus.
Up the 18th, but it's no different coming down the 10th at Augusta.
No, you're absolutely right. And of course, the most memorable part of that little trip was I was your chauffeur, and I was impeccably moving you around the South Carolina state, wasn't I?
It was. Yes, it was a great trip, to be fair.
Yeah, it was good trip, good fun.
And then this time, of course, I've come back and I've managed to get to St Andrews as well. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that in October with Tom again.
Yeah, you have. Well done on doing that, by the way.
Big thanks to Mitch Hanley for that. He told me what he'd done to get on there, and I must admit I acted pretty quickly and managed to get in. And
I think I'm going to shoot up this year because there's some more opportunities based on the fact there's not a lot of Americans coming in. So I'm going to try and get
no Americans and Chinese Oriental people coming over. And
it's a good point actually. Good.
They're struggling.
Yeah, they are struggling. Yeah, good.
I think there'll be some bonuses to be had up there even this year if people want to go and play. You know, the Scottish links.
Good advice. Good advice. Okay, Rich, that's been absolutely enlightening. Again, some of the more members that have been with us a longer time will obviously know who you are, and obviously have experienced you as a captain, but probably didn't know as much about you. And then there'll be some newer members, particularly ones that have come in over the last couple of years that, you know, I'm going to send out these previous interviews that we've done before last year and when I've sent yours out there. And it just gives them an opportunity to meet and see people that they wouldn't ordinarily see at the golf club. And of course, there's very little, and there's obviously none at the moment, interaction in the clubhouse and socializing because we've not been able to do it. No presentations, so nobody knows who anybody is if you've just joined the golf club. And hopefully people have found this, you know, interesting and enlightening. And again, you know, I know we laugh and joke, but you are an interesting person, honestly. And
much like yourself, Tim. Yeah, blowing smoke.
And that's been really good. Thanks for your time, and good luck this afternoon with your England golf meeting.
Thanks very much, Timothy.
No problem.
Pleasure.